you primarily, what you want to be doing, you want to be looking at one thing, which is what I did last week. I'll put it up here again, so you can see again how it works. Because this song form fits all the songs. So the trick is, and this is kind of what your homework should be, if you do play at home, is to get to know this song form. I was thinking about this week, and I was thinking about when I first learnt it, and there wasn't a lot of books and stuff around, good books at the time. I'm going to do the standard one, but like I just said to Martin, to catch him up, if you're playing off the other sheet, if you're playing off the second sheet, the go round again sheet, you have A at the bottom, D in the middle, and E at the top. So the contour will be different, but it's the same. It's the same change between A, D, and E. So when I first started playing, like, you know, it was a crap book. It was something like a tune a day kind of thing for, like, you know, it was all like stuff you'd do at assembly in school and that kind of thing, you know. It wasn't rock and roll and that. And so I bought this book called Rock Guitar, American book, and it was like just full of text with the odd diagram. It was like, you know, none of that. About 5 years later, they started putting colour in and pictures and lots of stuff and made it easy to do. But it's like an awful book. But it did have this sort of this 12-bar blues patterning, but it didn't do this diagram. And it just gives you, you know, we talked about tab last week. It gave you the tab. Now the tab for what you're playing would look like this. You'd have your 6 strings. And you would be playing, if we're changing on the bar, we haven't put any rhythm in yet, might do a bit of that this week. What I ask you to play could be written out like this in a book. You'd have 4 O's there, because it's the open string, that's the A string. Then you'd have 2 O's there on the D string, and then you'd have 2 O's back on the A string, and then you'd have 2 O's on the E string, and then 2 O's on the A string. So that's the number O, 0, because you played the string open. And it was similar to that, what I had, and you just, and I had I knew it was rock and roll. I did lots of rock and roll records, but I knew what I was aiming for, and that was the plan to play it. But you play it and you play it once, and hopefully you play it in time and everything else, and it's like all you're doing is what do I do next? I'll get to it. Where do I go? Do I go high or do I go low? Do you know what I mean? Those kind of questions. But you have to, when you first start playing through something, it's just very, like I call it spelling, because you have to spell your way through it. It's like learning to, this is like a big one long, it is just one thing, this is. But you have to learn to spell it step by step. But what you might believe that you're memorising something. The more you play it, the more you just remember. So you go out, you have a plan in your head for this particular thing, and then you come in here and I'll throw something at you. You have to file through your thing, and it comes out, and you have to visualise that tab in your head, and you follow it. But that's not what we're trying to do. What we're trying to do, I'll go back to my story about learning to play. You play it once means nothing, but you're pretty sure you get it right. You've got to make sure you get it right, step by step. So you have to, when you spell, you have to concentrate on spelling it right. After you've played it not once or twice, but 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 times, first of all, you start to remember to go which direction to go at certain points, whether you go to the low string or the high string. You know, you start to remember little directions. So you're still working as a spelling, but you're kind of starting to make sense. But at some point, it starts to lump together. The feel of what happens as the thing goes from here up to the D string, you feel the movement, and you start to get this shape. The sound, fortunately here, the way I think is, it mimics the shape of what you actually feel. So you feel yourself going along here, and you feel the song move up, and you feel it drop down, and you feel it drop down. And it's that feeling that you're looking for, and you have to just keep doing it. That's why I say try and play every day if you can, or play every other day and play, you know, play it more times. If you play it once a day, every day, that'll get you somewhere. If you can do it every other day and play it 5 times or 6 times, you know, but don't think about it, just play it. Try and play it from memory, and then if you get lost like you just tried to do then, go to your sheet the next day and look at the sheet. Don't play it, just look at it. What I try and do is distribute something on WhatsApp, so you've got a JPEG on your phone that you can maybe sit when there's about the crappy news item at the end of the news is on, and just pull your phone up and just look at it. And it'll just, because visually that represents what you want to hear, and what you want to be doing is, as you're coming along here, you can feel your body going, yeah, I've got to go up, and your body starts to tell you you've got to go back to home, and then you can feel your body, you've got to go away from home and then back. It's this idea of moving, starting on home, and moving away from home, back to home, all that kind of stuff. And it's slowly, but it takes time, and it takes repetition. It's not just memorising it. So I'll just draw it on here. So you've got your 4 A's, you've got your 2 D's. There's some structural stuff that I'll go over, not to this week, because this I've taught more than enough. But this is, the notes are irrelevant, and I'll give you one example why. Just bear with me to draw it all out again. What happens if I change the notes? Instead of A, D and E, what if I put D, G and A instead? And I put D there. So I put D there, G there and A there. That's right. So we've got A, D and E there, right? This is just for entertainment purposes. They've done it a few times, this will make a bit more sense, but just the point being, if I take that contour like that and I go, forgetting what the notes are, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I go up for 2, and then I go back to home for 2, and I go down for 2, and I go up for 2. Can everybody see that's like a template? It's like, that's the same as that, right? But if I change the notes, I can pick notes. If I want to change the key of the song, I can pick 3 notes or 3 chords, and that's these 3, and it would be, you'd play these instead. Sorry, back to, I just don't want to make a mistake, that's all, I've probably already made one. But that would feel the same as that, it would just all be higher or lower depending on where you played it on the guitar. But the movement of it would all be the same because the shape's the same. Would you like a quick sound demonstration so you can attach that to your ear? A, D. Then play it again. Compressed it all up, yeah. Now if I play D, I'll do it here. Where shall I do it? I'll do it there. I'll go. See what I mean? It might not immediately leap out, but the movement of it's the same. And what you do when you're playing it, when you pick your guitar up at home and you just think, what the hell am I doing this for again? It's you getting that, you're converting it from 12 steps into a thing that kind of rises and falls that you can surf on and sit on. So what we'll be doing in a minute, we'll put the metronome on, and once I know you can go back through it again, we'll play through it with the metronome a few times, just so you can work on getting that flow. If it sends you out with that flow, then you might have more of a chance of playing it through. When you get home, if you ever get a chance to pick your guitar up between sessions, it's just a case of trying to go through that motion and getting the sound of it in your ear and it's what you're trying to do is tie your ear and your fingers together, the movements that your fingers make with the sound that it makes. That's the first thing that you jettison, because once you've tied your ears to your fingers, you won't need that.